Hi, this is Rattlesnake Movie Channel. There is a spooky nursery rhyme circulating in the town. Beware the stare from Mary Shaw. She has no children, just dolls. If you see her, don't scream, or she'll rip your mouth open and rip out your tongue. This nursery rhyme is by no means sensational, because people in the town continue to be pulled out of their tongues and die horribly. Jimmy, as a former member of the town, suddenly received an anonymous package. It was a strangely shaped ventriloquist puppet. The puppet's eyes were so lifelike. Jimmy instantly remembered the nursery rhyme. He felt a chill down his spine, but his wife, Sally, was very interested in the puppet. Hold the puppet and learn to talk with it. She even put the puppet on her bed. However, when Jimmy went out to buy dinner, but the puppet's eyes are quietly turning, staring at Sally with unblinking eyes. Sally felt uneasy. She had to cover the puppet with a white cloth, but the stereo in the house automatically played a song. The kettle, however, again emits a piercing chirp. Sally senses that everything seems to be related to the puppet. Go over carefully to check. Unexpectedly, the puppet suddenly dragged her over. She was thrown out again and fell spitting blood. When Sally tried to crawl away, she was dragged back again. She screamed in terror. In the midst of screaming, her tongue was pulled out alive. A short time later, Jimmy returned home in high spirits. He heard Sally's voice calling from the bedroom, but when he went to find Sally, he almost slipped on the blood on the floor. Sally's voice again.
I have a surprise for you, Jamie.
Jimmy had a feeling something was wrong. He looked at the blood-stained white cloth on the bed. He carefully lifted the cloth. Inside was Sally's body. Her face was like a Halloween lantern. The face is chapped and the mouth is wide open. Jimmy was in pain and reported the crime, but he was questioned by the detective. Because since ancient times, wife's accidental death, the first suspect is the husband, but Jimmy was innocent. He explained that it was the ghost of the puppet that was responsible, but the detectives didn't believe him. Fortunately, they did not have any evidence. Jimmy had to be released. Jimmy had no choice. He decided to find out the truth himself. He took the puppet and drove all the way back to the town where he had not returned for years. But the town that used to be so bustling, now it was so empty that it was deserted. He went home doubly differently. He was greeted by a strange woman. It turns out that the father found a stepmother for Jimmy again. His father's temper is as bad as ever. Jimmy had left home because of his domestic violence. Now his father is confined to a wheelchair due to a stroke. He is as pale and decrepit as a puppet. Jimmy asks him about the nursery rhyme. His father was dismissive of this.
Small minds breed small-minded superstitions.
Jimmy was obviously not satisfied with this answer. He turned away in anger. He didn't want to stay at home either. Find a hotel to sleep in, but he didn't sleep well at night. The puppet kept quietly turning his eyes to him, even shouting his name. Jimmy woke up with a start. See a middle-aged woman's face coming straight at you. When he turned on the light, everything went back to normal. He could only reassure himself that it was all a hallucination. The next day, Jimmy found Henry, the owner of the funeral home, to make arrangements for his wife's burial. But Henry saw Sally's body. Apparently, he remembered something disturbing. Henry's wife, Alice, and huddled in the dirty, small plumbing room. She kept crying out that she had come. All of this seemed to foreshadow something terrible was coming. Soon after, Jimmy buried his wife in grief. At the cemetery, he meets a nervous Alice. Alice nervously pulled Jimmy to her feet, asked him if he had seen Mary Shaw, and recites the nursery rhyme. Jimmy was about to ask a question when Alice was forcibly pulled away by Henry. As she left, she repeatedly warned,
"Come on, you must bury the dog."
Jimmy was already terrified. He lifted the dead branch from the tombstone next to him. He found that it was the tombstone of Mary Shaw, so he rushed back to his room to check the puppet, only to find that the puppet had a name. It was Mary Shaw's favorite, Billy. He took the puppet to the cemetery at the night, but he felt that the puppet was staring at him quietly. Jimmy was sweating nervously. Finally, he reaches his destination. He found the headstone with Billy's name on it, putting the puppet in a coffin for burial. But when he returned to his room, the puppet appeared again, sitting on the bed. It turned out to be the detective who had been following him. He thought Jimmy wanted to eliminate the evidence of his wife's murder. so he dug up the puppet, even took the puppet away as evidence. But early in the morning, Jimmy secretly stole the puppet out. He went to Henry and asked him about the story of the puppet and Mary Shaw. Now we know the whole story. It turns out that more than 100 years ago, a new theater was built in the town by the lake. Mary Shaw was the hottest puppet ventriloquist in it. But in the middle of a performance, suddenly a boy questioned,
"Your lips are moving."
This made Mary Shaw very upset. She dazzled with a great dialogue.
I'm as real as you are, and
Leave him
I'll show
alone,
you.
Billy.
I'll show him what it's
Listen
like,
to me,
brother.
that's enough!
This performance received a lot of applause, but shortly afterwards, the questioning boy disappeared without a trace. Mary Shaw was also murdered, but Mary Shaw was obsessed with puppets. In her will, she asked to be buried with all the puppets, even to make a puppet of yourself. After she was buried, the curse was fulfilled. The residents are constantly being exterminated. That's why the town is in such a state of decay. Jimmy learns the story. Despite the danger, he went to the theater to check it out. By now, the theater was deserted and dilapidated. He walked through the eerie corridors to Mary Shaw's room. He found a book that Mary Shaw had collected. It contains not only a variety of puppet-making techniques and news about a missing boy. Jimmy found out that the boy was a member of his own family. He immediately went home in a rage, questioned his father about everything. He accidentally learns a shocking secret. Mary Shaw was killed by someone from his own family. When Jimmy's great-uncle suddenly disappeared, everyone in the family suspected that Mary Shaw was responsible. So they broke into Mary Shaw's room, forced her to scream and cut out her tongue. She was brutally murdered. Jimmy was furious. He was determined to end it all. But just as he got to the door, he ran into the detective again. The detective wanted to arrest him for theft. Jimmy told him the reason why, but the detective doesn't believe the ghost story. They were at a standstill. Jimmy suddenly received a call from Henry. Henry told him to go to the theater. There is evidence that he didn't kill his wife. Jimmy, therefore, defied the detective's arrest. Forced to drive to the theater, the detective follows him. The eerie atmosphere of the theater makes both of them nervous. They looked around for Henry with a kerosene lamp. However, Henry is not here at all. Jimmy accidentally finds his great-uncle's body. The body of his great-uncle had been made into a puppet. It seems that Mary Shaw was not framed. She indeed killed his great-uncle, who was a child at the time. But then the curtain of the theater suddenly fell down to reveal hundreds of puppets of all kinds. The puppets turned their heads and stared at the clown puppet swaying on the recliner. Jimmy tentatively called out Mary Shaw's name. The puppet suddenly opened its eyes.
What do you want?
To silence all those who silenced me.
Mary Shaw speaks unhurriedly. All her life, she wanted to make a perfect puppet. Sometimes wood alone is not enough, so she had to collect real human bodies to make puppets. Jimmy asks her why she killed Sally, but Mary Shaw asked him to come closer before she would tell him. Jimmy was so nervous and sweaty, he slowly approached for the truth.
You weren't the last Ashen. The last Ashen was inside her.
It turns out Sally was pregnant before she was killed. Mary Shaw is going to kill everyone in Jimmy's family. At that moment, Mary Shaw reached out her hands, picked up the clown puppet, obviously, to kill again. The detective hurriedly put up a shotgun to break the puppet. Mary Shaw's spirit instantly entered the puppets in the display case. One by one, the detective could only destroy them, but the ammunition is about to run out. Luckily, Jimmy had an idea. Smashed the kerosene lamp into the display case. All the puppets were then burned together. However, they ignore that great-uncle is also a puppet. Mary Shaw controlled the puppet and attacked the two men. The two men fled in a panic, but the detective slipped and fell during the escape. Body hanging from the stairs. Mary Shaw's ghostly face appears out of nowhere. The detective screamed in terror. While falling, the tongue was pulled out. Jimmy, unfortunately, fell into the theater lake. He was shocked to find numerous bodies floating at the bottom of the lake. He swam out of the lake, but then he remembered that there was still one puppet left to solve. Billy, the puppet that was left at the funeral home. Jimmy rushed to the funeral home. He found that Henry was dead. It turns out that not long ago, Alice noticed that Mary Shaw had returned, talking to the puppet in a mysterious way. Henry hurriedly pulled her away. Alice suddenly hid between the pipes again. Henry goes in and looks for her and calls out to Alice, but all he could hear was Alice whimpering. He felt some fear. Unexpectedly, the door closed inexplicably. Henry was locked in this confined space and was scared. Mary Shaw's voice came from inside. He looked back. Mary Shaw appeared beside him. Henry let out a scream. He was instantly killed by having his tongue pulled out. Jimmy learned of this, but there was nothing he could do. He just asks where the puppet is. Alice explained that the puppet had been taken away by Jimmy's father. His father is actually able to walk with both legs intact. Jimmy was suspicious, immediately returned home, and found the puppet in the darkness. But Mary Shaw was suddenly summoned by the puppet, floated straight to Jimmy and approached him. Jimmy was so scared. In the nick of time, he threw the puppet into the fireplace. Mary Shaw disappeared with a scream. Jimmy is in shock, but then he found his father sitting in a rocking chair. He came close and patted his father. His father fell to the ground. Jimmy then realized his father's torso had been completely hollowed out. It turned out that his father had died long ago, just made into a puppet by the stepmother, using ventriloquism to pretend to communicate with Jimmy. Jimmy shuddered, but then his stepmother suddenly appeared behind him. She took the form of Mary Shaw. Jimmy was so scared that he lost control and screamed. Eventually, he was killed. This is the end of the film. Subscribe to me, and we'll see you next time.